Hello, Self, Ohana, Cosmos, everyone else in between. Sold Out Nick here. March 13th, 2025. I think this is like part 4, part 5 of the Magic Mirror work. Lots of them today because it's been starting. And I just did a bunch of work. I sent some messages out to my founding partners, to my clients. I created a video about the sunshine. I created a video about the Breakthrough Experience book review because I just finished that book recently. I'm practicing doing the book reviews on books that I fully finish. Because there's so many books I started. I probably have about 30 to 40 to 50 books on the go right now. And there's a few that I finished, and the Breakthrough Experience, Dr. Johnny Demartini was one of them. So you'll take a look for that if you want to. And I say that because I forget this is my Magic Mirror experience. How am I trying to throw this out to you? Why are you still here? And you may still be here because you're wanting to watch this crazy Asian guy go through his own process of looking in the mirror of my life and saying, what is it that I want to create? And who am I? And where am I? And what am I willing to reveal? Because that's part of this. It's actually being transparent. And I've been listening to the telepathy tapes, this podcast about children who are nonverbal mostly, who have these extrasensory perceptions of not just telepathy, but consciousness, shared consciousness. They're able to predict things, they're able to see the past, they're able to be in the energetic space and actually communicate with people who have passed already or who have died already, let's be honest, from this lifetime, and seeing consciousness and reality in different ways. Even parts where when we see someone, when I experience it, I experience my whole body, but they lose the experience of their body sometimes. And I can know that because there's times when I can actually be like, I hear nothing. And the moment I realize I hear nothing, the sound comes back because it's almost like I can turn off the sound. There are parts of myself that I know I can turn off. Like it's just like your limb falling asleep temporarily, except what if you didn't think it was just temporary? You didn't know when it would come back. You don't know what's going to trigger it to come back. And then noticing I am quite good right now with my speech and all that stuff, but come a stroke or something else like that, everything would change. And then how does that define me? How do I define myself? And it's being with that right now without being mired in the, oh, what if this, what if that? Like, I don't want to be a prepper. I don't want to prepare for every major disaster. And I'm grateful that we have some extra food, some extra water, some purification devices, because why not? Why not have some tools that will help us with survival if needed? But if I'm always thinking about survival, I'm not actually thinking about thrival. I want to thrive in this lifetime. And I have such a belief that we're here to thrive. Like, it's so exciting. All right, so where was I? I lost myself there. I continue to lose myself in these processes because, again, if I'm actually doing the Magic Mirror work, I'm not trying to follow a thread. I'm also being transparent that I'm going to keep losing threads. That's part of why I have a founding team. I was contemplating that again with my beloved yesterday, going, it feels really weird that I haven't generated the work that I feel like I should have by this time this year. Like actual paying work, and I know I could have. Like I would have called a few people, created a few things, generated a few ceremonies, but that's not what I want to do. I want to create something that feels like it's so solid that we're actually creating the different parts of the process, and we're getting clear, how do I have the intrinsic motivation to do this? Because it's so exciting, because things that I want automated are already automated, and we're creating in such a way where it's really sustainable, fair exchange. Before it was like, okay, it was good, it was better than if I looked in comparison to others, but I wasn't looking at what I want for myself, what I want for my team, what I want to be able to build, what I want to build to amplify the voice, to actually create the automatic savings programs. And right now I have the opportunity to do this because we have the resources, the commitment, the time from people. Let's do it. And knowing that this time span really for this to get to the point where someone's going to be like, at some point in about 1 to 3 years, people are like, holy shit, how did you do that? And I look forward to that. And even right now, I feel like it's a holy shit, how have you done that? Like, have partners who not just are really brilliant, but speak up and keep reminding me of the different things to add in. Let's add in some structure. And then I'm really grateful. She did it so sweetly. She said, and I'm going to send it to you and you actually get to lead with it. And I was like, thank you, because you're honoring me as leader. And then you're also not letting me abdicate my role. Because it'd be very easy to say, hey, you take this on, whatever you create, I'm good with. No, I've actually got to look it over if I actually want to implement it. And how do I implement it in this way? And as I implement it, why that serves others is they get to see how I lead, and they get to say, how would I lead differently? Because without actually having a separation between the two, they can't see the difference, the benefits and the costs of the way I've chosen to lead. And every choice has a benefit and a cost. There's not a right way to lead. There are maybe some better ways to lead, especially according to my temperament or a temperament of someone else. And the moment we try to lead based on what we think is the right way versus the way we want to right now, oof. Oh my God, I've almost drank a whole, liter and a half of juice this morning. Perfect. Let's clear out the system. Let's keep cleaning it out. Let's keep cleaning out and creating more and more energy, vitality, certainty, love, enthusiasm, presence, gratitude, transcendence. And every now and then taking a breath as I'm stumbling over myself for the words. Part of it is when I forget that it's the magic mirror work, I'm trying to do this for the proverbial you, because I'm thinking if I don't keep up, then you're gonna get bored and you're gonna leave. And the funny thing is, people are leaving my videos even when I think I'm actually being clear. So that's not what's actually capturing people either. I actually have no idea what's going to capture people, but as well, my sample size is so small right now. Doubly don't know. And my goal is not to capture people, but to capture myself. That's the magic mirror work. Can I capture myself to make this so much fun that I'm going to keep coming back to it? Make this a regular practice. Let's talk about the stock market right now for someone who's gotten here. Right now, the market feels like it's going into recession, it's crashing. But I love stumbling across a post from someone. It's like, hold on now, what's the bigger picture? The US Treasury is going to have to refinance a bunch of their loans in about 6 months' time, which means they'll want to finance them at the lowest rate they possibly can, because that actually allows them more freedom and flexibility. So Treasury yields go up as stock market goes down because people get scared. But when you come right off a scare into the next growth phase, that is probably more strong than trying to hold off the drop that everyone's trying to do, because everyone's trying to do this right now. They're trying to show that Trump is terrible for the economy. Not everyone, but a lot of people are trying to do it. Let's actually let them ride it out. And then they're going to work to do what they need to do to bring it back, to bring back certainty into things. And as they do that and things start shoring up, Treasury yields are going to go down, and that's probably the lowest they can possibly get. And there'll still be people out there like, oh, it was lower before this. But what they didn't see, and what they're not acknowledging, is that if you try to hold on, there's a good chance it would have dropped just before. They would have been primed to drop it just before. Right now, he's taking the fuel out of the ammunition that they have by dropping it early and then allowing for the rise back up. Showing that their efficiency is already there, showing that things are already in place, showing that they've cut down on the spending already. Those are all things that people want to see. So I get some of the fruits of the labor already, change things around, turn things around a little bit, enough so because you've got to ride these waves. If you're thinking you're going up all the time, you're in trouble. And he's such a brawler, such a bruiser, such a resilient being that 99 times out of 100, I bet on him, right? The thing that's going to kill them is if they get killed. And I hope that doesn't happen. I really don't. I really do hope it doesn't happen. And then right now, it's funny the divisiveness that's happening. People are looking and saying that because of an action, you have a trait. Because I watched them make a symbol, a symbolic gesture, therefore, it must mean that they have this trait, that they are this way of being. And I am 100% certain, and that's a fun thing that's interesting to see. When someone says they have 100% certainty about what that means, and that if you don't agree with that, then you must be delusional. I have no idea what anything means inside there. I'm working hard enough to figure out what it means inside of here. And I have so many clues. It's not that I don't have clues and I don't make conjectures and all that fun stuff. And I'm not making judgments too, just silently. I notice though, I'm practicing not adding fuel to the fire before I need to. And I love that consideration by my dear friend Judy. Does it need to be said? And does it need to be said by me right now? And if it doesn't, then why am I doing it? Oh, part of me is actually addicted to the drama. Part of me wants to be righteous. Part of me wants to get rid of some of these people. Okay, cool. Can I actually own that? And right now, I was reflecting the other day, like, who are my closest friends right now? Where am I spending most of my time? I'm spending it with my beloved and my son and my cat. I'm spending it with other parents, people having helped me declutter. I'm spending it with my founding partners. I'm spending it with my family. I have not been spending a lot of it truly socially. And I've made that lower in the priority list because I'm practicing all my leadership inside the family structure, inside the business structure. And I've created my family, my business structure in such a way that it's social as well, that it's play, that my clients are play, they're social as well. But it won't have to be. It'll be important to keep an eye out on this to make sure I don't make my work my social aspect as well, or the only social aspect, or bleeding over and getting them all mixed up. And that's part of why I think the universe is sometimes pushing back when I'm trying to mix things up a little bit, going, hey, hold on now, are you sure you want to mix it up this way? And I'm grateful for that. Just noticing these stickers, taking off this NFC sticker now, because it doesn't need to be there. Boop. He still has an NFC tag on there. So brilliant. Like, I have to admit, the design of this one, light years ahead of the other one. And I may complain if something breaks. And it's okay if I do. Sorry, I'm talking about the gimbal that this is on that keeps turning it automatically. It's a beautiful, clean white. It's got stickers where it needs to give me enough information. And underneath the sticker, it still has the information there in a very gentle print. Just loving all the technology now too. Okay, loving the technology, loving the nature, loving the natural, loving the unnatural, loving the people, loving the work, loving the cosmos. Okay, as I'm coming into love, the universe is sending me more stuff that I love. As I'm getting more and more clear on my love list, the universe is sending more things to love. And the love list is looking at each area of my life, mental, spiritual, vocational, financial, familial, social, and physical, and saying, what do I actually want here? And part of it for me, I still have to work on writing it out, is that Bruce Lee kind of ability to move and to fight and respond and be with a family and be with the energy and clarity and vitality that I want in this body. To be able to keep expanding and relaxing. And I've been playing more with it to get to know the body better, more intimately. To know and hear it and listen to it. Because the body is constantly trying to tell me things. More and more now when I'm with my son, I'm like, oh my God, how do I do a little bit of Qigong? How do I move a little bit of energy here? How do I notice, oh, there are the hips. There's that lower back. It's gotten a little stiff. And I really got to learn that from my client the other day when she was like, oh my God, I've been told I've got to keep the butt tight, suck the gut in all the time. And I'm doing it all the time, but didn't even realize I'm creating stiffness inside myself. And I love that documentary and that I'm going to call made up diagnosis, stiff person syndrome, that Celine Dion has. I'm saying it's made up because everything is made up. Every single disease name is made up. I had asthma before. What does the term asthma mean? Right? And so many of these things are either description or they're based on a name or all these things like Parkinson's. What does that mean? Like, we've all created this common lexicon that we've had to understand. It's like branding disease. Branding disease. That's all we've done. And we branded it so well that we think we know. Like, it's so certain that this is what it is. And it's just a constellation of symptoms. What is it that's behind it? Can I actually be okay with the fact that what if it wasn't materialistic, physical so much? Or that wasn't the primary thing? Would I actually be okay with it? Or I'm so identified with it. And because I really don't want to consider that this could go away, because that would mean also that I've held on to it for this long. That's the secret part of disease. Part of it is if we achieved our goals too easily, we wouldn't have the story. And that comes up more and more. Like, people are like, oh, I want that movie. Like, a movie isn't good if your hero gets your thing right away. What we're forgetting is that the thing that we think is our goal is not our ultimate goal. It's just a temporary goal. It's a stepping stone. And I would rather get this stepping stone sooner than I thought, because the movie is actually a much more epic love story than I imagined. And that thing that I think is the ultimate goal is not the ultimate goal. That's a piece that I want to point out to people when they say, oh my God, I don't want it to be too easy. Like, right now for me in this founding of this business, it's not the first rocket that's the easiest one or the one that I'm trying to get to. It's like, why people fault Elon Musk, but he's so good at, is in that book Liftoff, when he's actually looking at launching the first rocket, which is already failing. He's already looking at the 10th iteration because his dream is that far ahead. And that 10th iteration is only a stepping stone on where he wants to actually get to, which is Mars. Or that's what he says out loud. I have no idea what he actually wants to get to, but that stepping stone. And when you make your mission that big, these little steps are almost inevitable. And then you get to not make each little step or each step seem like such a big step. It's a great milestone. It doesn't have to make it less significant though. Like, you can still celebrate it. I'm celebrating the fact that I figured out I can get these porter passes so I can fly across the country whenever I want. Cool. I'm celebrating the fact that I have all these people in my life. Cool. I'm celebrating these facts of where life is right now. And it can move so much faster than I can imagine. Just because I'm not familiar with it doesn't mean it can't happen. It's happened to others. And that's a piece that comes back to the comparison. I remember one of my clients said, it was like, oh my God, this guy did more business than most people do in a lifetime. Like, great. So what is it that we want to learn from him? I would like to meet that person. I'm going to share this. Those are the people I want to meet as well. So not just the people that we have problems with, but the people that are doing such amazing stuff. That's who I want to meet as well. Those are the ones I may want to do social things and learn from a little bit too. Maybe I don't have anything to offer them right now, and that's okay. I want to learn from them for sure and get curious about them and ask them questions. Oh, okay. Okay, so notice for myself, some of me is being attracted to and attracting in people who need me. And now I'm going to practice attracting people I want to emulate even more. And go from there. Surround myself with that. Surround myself with that. And trust in the process. All right. All right. I'm contemplating right now creating a men's equinox event. And I'm feeling more and more aligned with it. I'm going to reach out to my dear friend Matthew to see if it's possible. And then start putting it out there. I've got a couple events coming up then, and I'll put it out there. Whatever people want to come to, they can come to. Okay. Just being with myself, being with the potential fear of life, the joy of life. And let's get to sharing a few things. All right, let's get to doing. Enough of the magic mirror work for now. Let's get to doing some stuff and checking things off the list. Ciao for now.